Everybody, thanks for joining me as we take a look at your weekend forecast for August 15th through the 17th. And summer weather is is continuing. Although next week we may push towards more of a fall feel, early fall feel. Still plenty warm, actually really pleasant. It's a little cool this morning. So if you're out there this morning, certainly temperatures dropped pretty good last night behind a little bit of a bump. But we're going to warm back up again during the day today, particularly tomorrow and Sunday are going to be quite warm before a front moves through and kind of sags some Canadian air south and gives us a chance at some cooler air. The good thing with that sagging south and the front that is sort of headed in our direction is it's going to protect us also from Erin, which looks to go offshore out to sea, and it looks like the safety margin there is quite large still. Still bears watching anytime there's a hurricane, but as it gets closer, the timelines are getting shorter. The chance for something outside of what we expect to happen in terms of Erin is starting to get limited. So I think we're pretty much in the clear in terms of direct effects from it. Still affects the weather pattern when you have a big storm out there like that. But right now, it looks like it's going to affect our weather pattern for the better. We'll have to keep an eye on that. That's still possible. There's quite a bit of uncertainty in the forecast next week. Not that we're going to talk about that too much today, but because of Erin, but not directly related to Erin. So anyways, what's going on across the country? Not a lot. You can see we cleared out here basically after the showers and thunderstorms on Wednesday. Our next front is kind of well to our west, and it's actually going to kind of basically string out and then sag south on Sunday. Mostly with showers, maybe a few thunderstorms, nothing too strong, I don't think. Basically just a kind of run-of-the-mill front, but that will drop the humidity. What we are seeing is we have kind of a weak flow from the southwest to the kind of from the southeast pushing northward. You can see that in temperatures it's pushed kind of to our west first with the warmer temperatures and the dew points, and that's going to head in our direction. The temperatures actually aren't going to change that much because we've been pretty warm during the days. High temperatures will be pretty similar, maybe a few degrees warmer than tomorrow, but it's really the dew points that are going to come up. They're not going to come up radically. Sunday will feel a little muggy, basically. Even Saturday is not too bad, a little bit more humid, but not that bad. It's basically a pretty nice weekend. Not a lot to talk about really weather-wise, but radar, same thing you can see. None of this is going to approach us at any time. Our next chance for rain is Sunday afternoon and evening. If we take a quick look at, before we get to that, let's look at temperatures first. Temperatures, you can see we do have a little pocket of cooler air that's kind of filtered south a little bit over the last couple of days. It's really not cooler, it's mostly drier air. So at night, that means cooler temperatures, which is why it actually has felt kind of nice the last couple of nights, a couple of early mornings, even though we then warmed up. We're going to warm back up again today. But you can see to our west, those nighttime temperatures didn't really come down that much. And this is gently headed in our direction. And this is more about dew points really than it is about temperature. So when it's basically your temperature, when the air has got lots of moisture in it, you really can't get the temperature to fall too much below the dew point. Maybe this is a good time to talk about dew points. So dew point is the temperature at which you have to cool the air so that it would be 100% saturated with water, as saturated as it can be. And then to go any further than that, you have to basically precipitate water out of the air. And so the reason that it's hard to go too much below whatever the dew point is in the afternoon. You can go a little bit below because you can kind of have dew happen and things like that, and that's how you end up with some of the moisture actually coming out of the air. But basically is that process by which once you get to your dew point, you actually, in order to condense the water out of the air, and you have to because you can only have so much water physically suspended in air at a certain temperature. That is the dew point. The reason that it's harder to go much lower than that is because that physical process, when the water turns from water vapor into a liquid water droplet, it releases heat because that's how physics works, right? When you change something from a gas to a liquid, you release energy. So anyways, it helps to keep the temperature up. That's why dew points matter in terms of overnight temperatures, which is why this is really more of a dew point thing than it is a temperature thing. And those dew points are headed in our direction. All that translates to, it means it feels more humid. There's your high school science lesson for the morning. Let's take a look quickly before we go to Erin. Let's take a quick look at what's going on in terms of the upper level. And you can see there's that little bump, that little ridge there, a little bump up in the mid levels of the atmosphere. And that is what is kind of encouraging that northward trend of the air that's more kind of from the southeast, where obviously you're more humid and sticky. You can see also, though, a pretty sharp trough to the west. This, like I said, is not going to come through as like a strong system, but it is going to kind of be the push that helps push the cooler air in for the beginning of next week. And also helps push Aaron off to sea. Looks like Aaron will make its closest approach to us sometime midweek next week, Wednesday, Thursday-ish. And right now, it looks like it'll be well offshore. And actually what we're rooting for, Aaron may do the thing that we would want pretty much any tropical system to do. Right now it's a tropical storm. It will become a hurricane soon. It could become a pretty strong hurricane. But it looks like the most likely scenario right now is that it goes north of the islands. That's good. Basically stays out in open water. Goes west of Bermuda. That's good. Stays away from Bermuda and east of the East Coast. And all it really affects is shipping, and it will affect certainly we will have high surf along the East Coast. That's the only thing that will really be the big effect from it. Not 100% guaranteed that that happens yet, but starting to lock that in more. So looking pretty good. I wouldn't be too worried. I know there's lots of, people post pictures everywhere on social media about it. I would not be too concerned. There are model runs. There's always going to be a model run that shows something different, but the overall consensus is well within that track. Nothing close to us, nothing even close to the East Coast, really. But we have to keep an eye on it. It's still several days away, still almost a week out from when it's going to actually make its closest approach. So we're still going to pay attention, but we're starting to feel pretty confident that things are looking better. So let's take a quick look at it on satellite imagery. You can see here's Aaron now. It's still east of the Lesser Antilles. Starting to come together. It's moving over warmer water now. It will probably bring some rain to the northern part of the Northern Antilles, but it's basically headed in a direction that's going to keep it away from actually impacting the islands, which is a good thing, certainly for them as well. Let's take a quick look at that forecast so we can actually talk about what's going to happen here. Today, nice, very sunny, 84 degrees for a high, about not a lot of humidity, so it'll be like it has been. It'll feel warm in the afternoon, but it won't be ridiculous. Overnight, we cool back down again tonight, not quite as much as we did this night here, but close. Tomorrow, a little bit warmer, touch humid, not real humid, but a touch more humid, 87. So it's going to feel pretty warm tomorrow. And then 63 for a low. Before Sunday, we get humid, and we have some afternoon storms. I think the timing on those storms looks anytime between about anytime after 2-3 o'clock in the afternoon. You got to be somewhat prepared. They don't look wide. They don't look like long lasters or something that's going to affect your whole day or anything like that. You just got to be aware they may happen. So just keep an eye on radar on Sunday if you're outside. Again, don't look like they're going to be overly strong either. So I would basically just plan your afternoon activities as normal, and then just kind of be with the plan that, I may have to do something. Overnight clouds, they'll probably break up by morning, and we do cool off. You can see all the way down to 52. And highs on Monday look to probably be in the 70s, maybe even the low 70s, low to mid 70s. So beautiful, much cooler and much drier, much kind of more pleasant air, the kind of stuff that we love to get this time of year in Vermont. So yeah, that's what things are looking like. Let me give you a quick look at the highlights. Our above average temperatures trend will continue through the weekend. Also continue to be dry with the exception of any showers, with the exception of any showers on Sunday afternoon and evening. I don't know why I wrote that way. Sorry about that. Conditions are dry and the fire danger has increased. So just keep an eye on that. You got to be real careful with anything you're burning. There's a lot of burn bans in effect. So just pay attention to that in your local town. The beginning of next week will bring cooler temperatures, and Tropical Storm Aaron will become a hurricane and make an approach the East Coast, but stay out to sea. All right. Thanks for supporting the channel. I want to give a quick shout out to my patrons to help support what I do here at the West River Weather Guy. If you're interested in becoming a patron, there is a link in the description below that talks about how you can do that. Also, if you haven't subscribed to the YouTube channel before, I would encourage you to do so. I'll be back on Monday with a look at your work week forecasts.